Shabbat Sholom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So I'm just glad nobody sat over here because we didn't want anybody to sit there, so that's good. So welcome. You may look around and see some new faces. Tonight was a potluck for our JIC class, and they come actually all the time. They're not quite new faces, but some brought their families, which are, and so we welcome you. We're glad that you're here. And we weren't able to get that screen working, but the page, no, that one's not working. I think that one is working. The page numbers will be up on the screen if you need that to follow along. And we'll start with a nigun.
That's the whole first part of the nigun. Give it a shot. Yalalai. Yalalai, 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 yalalai. Couple more times. Time. See if you can try it with me. Give it a shot. The words are easy. Yalalai. Yalalai, 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 continue with Shalom Alechem, welcoming in the Shabbat angels, page 142. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem leShalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu leShalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu, Zeitchem leShalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Amlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom. So on Monday, I was in a meeting. It's my day off, but I was in a meeting. That's sort of been par for the course since October 7th. And somebody started the meeting with saying, "Oh, it's been a long week and it's only Monday." And I'm like, "Well, we've all heard that joke before." But as we come to Shabbos, and we enter into hopefully this time of separation and rest and recovery, maybe what we could strive for is to enter into Shabbos and to say something along either by tomorrow afternoon, if not earlier. Oh, it's been a long Shabbos and it's only Saturday morning. It's only Friday night. To fill this time, to fill this space perhaps with the kind of busyness, but sacred busyness. Our rabbis teach, and we well know, that taking a break requires work. It's not easy to disconnect. You have to work at it. It's not easy to put things down. We know that that takes effort. And so there is work to be done on Shabbat. It's the work of not working. And so I invite all of us to arrive at some point along the next 25 hours and say, it's been a full Shabbos already, and it's not even over, half done yet. I want to invite the Koltenbacher family to come up and to lead us in the reading and then the lighting of the Shabbos candles. It's right there on the top, right there.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, be our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
So every Friday night we begin with a special part of our service called Kabbalat Shabbat, where we welcome in Shabbat with a series of psalms culminating in Lecha Dodi, which we'll get to soon. We're going to start with Psalm 95, and if you look, it's on page 130. They're all about singing and going out and praising God. We try to make it a little easier with a lot of yalalais, if you don't know the Hebrew. So you're always welcome to sing Yananai, Yalalai, whatever makes you happy. Lechu neranena l'Adonai Surishenu nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot naria lo yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai. Page 131, Shiru Ladonai. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru miyom leyom, Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim, Kevodo bechol ha'amim, Nifleotav ki gadol top of page 134. We sing Zamru Ladonai. Zameru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Zameru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Zameru, zamru, Ladonai. Zameru, zamru, Ladonai. Zameru, Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Zameru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Zameru, zamru, Ladonai. Zameru, zamru, Ladonai. Last time. Zameru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Zameru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor veko zimra. Page 138. We'll continue with Lecha Dodi. We've reached the pinnacle of Kabbalat Shabbat, where the ancient Kabbalists would go out into the fields and sing and welcome in the Shabbat bride. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekamela. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor bedibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, le'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat lecho v'nelcha, ki hi mekor hameracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 3. Mikdash melech, ir melucha, kumitzei mitoch hafecha. Rav lach shevet b'mnei kavacha, ve'hu yachamol alayich chemla. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori. Uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Oh, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat face the entrance. Verse 9. Boi veshalom ateret bala gam besimcha ubetola toch emunei am segula boi chala facing front, last time, all together. Olecha dodi likrat kala, nei Shabbat nekavela. Olecha dodi likrat kala, nei Shabbat nekavela.
We'll remain standing. We'll turn to page 263 for Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם בעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. We'll read together Ma'ariv Aravim on page 265. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro Ma'ariv Aravim. בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו.
אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגד יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם וכבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We'll sing together, Mi Chamocha, page 270.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כיבד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
The Shamru, page 272.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ימר די די די, שבת שבת, ימר די די די, שבת שבת, ימר די די די, שבת 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 שלום. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ימר די די די, שבת שבת, ימר די די די, שבת שבת, ימר די די די, שבת 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 shalom.
We'll rise together now for the Amidah, beginning on page 273.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. ופי אגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק אלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Turn to page 279 and sing Ritzeh.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel u'tehile ratzon תמיד עבודת ישראל ישראל עמך אל קרוב לכל קורב פני אל עבדיך וחוננו שפוך רוחך תחזינה עינינו ושוב לך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון, לציון.
So we're going to turn back to the middle of that prayer on page 279, the bottom of the page. So beside being Shabbat, today is also Rosh Chodesh. We begin the Hebrew month of Adar this evening. This is Kylan is dancing. Okay, that's good. Adar, of course, is a month that we say is full of joy and happiness. We say, whoever brings in Adar, whoever welcomes Adar, is someone who grows in happiness. And this year, as we have every so often, is a leap year in the Jewish calendar. So that means we're going to have Adar twice. Adar Aleph right now and Adar Bet next month. So Purim will come a little bit later. That will be an Adar Bet. But I think there's something really important to be learned about entering Adar this year. This has been a very, very difficult Jewish year from the very beginning of the year, from Simchat Torah. Sometimes it's hard to laugh. Sometimes it's hard to smile. But we still should. we still should find these moments of joy and opportunities to increase joy. We're very good as a people sometimes of laughing in the face of difficulty, and this time should be no different. So let us bring in Adar with that spirit of joy that we can find even in darkness. So we're going to do the blessing for welcoming in this new month.
Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Ya'ale ve'yavo ve'yizacher zichronenu, ve'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, letovah, lechenu lechesed le'rachamim, lechayim u'leshalom, ביום ראש החודש הזה, זוכרנו אדוני אלוהינו בו לטובה, אמן, ופוקדנו בו לברכה, אמן, והושיענו בו לחיים.
Amen. On the top of the next page, our God and God of our fathers and our mothers, be truly mindful of us and all your people Israel on this Rosh Chodesh, and renew us in love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day remember us for well-being.
Amen.
This day bless us with your nearness.
Amen.
This day help us to a fuller life.
Amen.
Amen. We'll continue with our blessing of shalom, of peace for Israel and our whole world, page 282.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Take a few moments now for silent prayer.
285, you'll find the words for Oseh Shalom. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, all of Israel, Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, and all who inhabit the earth. Oseh Shalom, bimroma, uyaseh Shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru amen. Yai lai lai, 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 yai lai lai. Let's try it on Oseh Shalom one more time. Oseh Shalom, bimroma, uyaseh Shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru amen. Lovely. We love a new melody. A secret other melody, but no one knows. So we're going to turn in our siddur to page 371. And there find a mishaberach that we will offer for all of those in our extended temple community, those we are thinking of in need of healing at this time. In particular, we are thinking of Karen Bernstein, Esther Brower, Hamish Cameron, Max Konybauer, Shannon Wall, Itamar Ben Root, Reuven Pinchas Ben Zara, Yosef Ben Michael Miriam, Marilyn Perrin, Adele, Jason Stanley Fox, Virginia Edwards, Nini Rostaker Shipman, Mayor Leb Ben Yosef, Ishayahu, Natalie Wormelli, Mayor Tzvi, Mayor Zalman Ben Rachel, Bill Shaw, Claire Columbia, Carla Zivit, Janet Gelb, David Shlomo Gorney, and Andrea Yarsbiak. If there are other people you're thinking of, if you'd like to rise and share their names out loud, I invite you to do so. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom again to everybody. Great to see you all. Just a few announcements just to share with all of you. There are a lot. I'm not going to read all of them in here, but just a few to note. First of all, again, as we've said for many, many weeks and months now, Sunday at 2 o'clock each week, our rally to call to bring home the hostages at the art gallery. So please join there if you're able. We do have our Shalom Shishim, our seniors program, has their next lunch on February 20th with our own Dr. Hart Snyder, who has made an incredible novel and a film about anti-Semitism. It's really, really interesting, actually. So if you're able to come to join, please do. And our Shalom Shishim has a new program starting, which is Games Afternoon. This will be every other Tuesday. You can come and play canasta or bridge if you already know how. Or if you'd like to learn how to play canasta, we have incredible teachers. Our temple members, Andy and Sandy Signer, are wonderful canasta teachers and have offered to teach anyone who'd like to learn. So there are details here in the program. You can find out more about that. We have a number of sisterhood and men's club programming that's happening, as well as our parents and babies group has a wellness gathering on the 21st. So it's lunch and Pilates. Sounds fun. Anything else, Rabbi Cantor, to mention? No? Okay, great. So, next Tuesday, this coming week, Bezrat Hashem, God willing, my family is scheduled to experience a very important ritual that's a long time in the making. We are becoming Canadian citizens. Yes. So when I tell people this, many say, I thought you already were a citizen, because I've lived here for 12 years. And if not, they say, aren't your kids citizens? And actually, they're not. They were very, very small when we moved here. If you were here back in 2011, you might remember little Jonah was 6 weeks old when we moved. His bar mitzvah is soon. So in many ways, I do already feel Canadian and associate myself as a Canadian, but I know that there is this important ritual, the oath of citizenship, that will be really important. I actually stopped at the dollar store this afternoon and bought little flags so that we could have them for our ceremony. There is this social contract, I think, of Canadianness that I'm excited to take upon in a serious way as my own. And as we've been going through this whole process, I've been thinking about the ways that I have acculturated myself into Canadian ways of living. You know, when you move to Canada from the United States, you expect things to be kind of the same, or familiar at least, but there are these little tiny things that you notice. And some of them are apparent very quickly, and others still, years later, you start to realize. But there's one thing in particular I remember hit me over the head so hard right when we moved. We were living actually on campus at UBC, and I was walking with the kids in the stroller on the main mall, and a little bit ahead of me, I saw that a woman fell down. She was okay, but immediately there were about 5 or 6 students within kind of the radius of a few meters around her, and they all came to help with no hesitation. They stayed with her, they helped her sit down, they gathered her scattered belongings, they offered her some water. And I have to say that in my previous country of residence, this would not have happened. Maybe someone would have stopped, but not everyone. I felt that there was a different kind of social contract here, which was really remarkable. In this week's Parashah Mishpatim, we are introduced to many different mitzvot, many sacred commandments that also are about a social contract of what it means to live in a society, an ethical society. There are these really well-known commandments like
Of course, not to mistreat the orphan and the widow, not to take interest from the poor in need of a loan, to return lost objects. One of the most interesting of these ethical mitzvot is about what to do if you see an animal on the side of the road that's struggling with its load. The Torah teaches us that we have to help the owner raise the animal back up. There's an expectation that you, as a passerby, have a responsibility to stop. And I'm not equating the woman who fell at UBC with a donkey, but it seems that the students at UBC in 2011, they got that sense of responsibility. But there's a detail I left out about that mitzvah in the Torah. The Torah is very specific. It doesn't just tell us to help any random person who happens to have a donkey if the donkey is struggling on the side of the road. Actually, the text is very specific about the person that we are commanded to help. Son'acha, which can be translated as either your enemy or the one who hates you. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory wrote that this verse teaches that your enemy is also a human being. Hostility may divide you, but there is something deeper that connects you, the covenant of human solidarity. Distress, difficulty, these things transcend the language of difference. A decent society, he writes, will be one in which enemies do not allow their rancor or animosity to prevent them from coming to one another's assistance when they need help. And speaking about enemies, the Torah is realistic rather than utopian. It doesn't say love your enemies, but the Torah says when your enemy is in trouble, come to their assistance. That way, perhaps some of the hatred will be dissipated. And who knows whether help may not turn hostility to gratitude, and from there, even to friendship. It seems to be kind of a strange time for me to take the oath of citizenship, when I'm not sure how our social contract is doing. I'm still very, very honored to be able to do so. But I wonder if that happened today at UBC, how many people would stop in the same way? How many of us are willing to stop and help strangers, let alone those who might hold hate toward us in their hearts? I worry about where we are as a society right now, that our social contract seems to be deteriorating. Just this week, think about all that has happened, from the terrible things that happened with Selena Robinson, the vitriol on campuses, and unions I've been hearing about. It feels like things are reaching this very difficult point, and I am very concerned about where things are headed. I'm not saying we have to take things lying down or that we shouldn't respond to hate. In fact, we must. But if we stop responding to someone who has fallen down on the sidewalk or who has a flat tire or who could use some help gathering their scattered belongings, what have we become? Even if, maybe even precisely if, we know that we might not otherwise get along. I'm glad we're reading this mitzvah this week in the parasha. I think we have to recommit to being there for our neighbors even when we disagree. Even when we think that maybe they don't like us or they might think that we don't like them, perhaps more than ever before in our lifetimes, we have to find opportunities in which we are called to be mentioned, to be good people. It is our sacred obligation. Yes, it comes from the Torah as a mitzvah, but I've learned by now it's a Canadian way of doing things too. Shabbat Shalom. So let's turn back in our siddurim now to page 586. We'll rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמן, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. A reading before Kaddish at home, before the mourner's Kaddish, page 593. In the light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, and in light we are seen. The flames dance, and our life burns down, and it gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more, and we are no more seen, yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in that eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. On this Shabbos, we recall those who died during this past week, these past 30 days, whose families are in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim. As I read the name of your loved one, if you could rise and remain standing. Christine Ali Abel, Ginny Bloom, Ethel Chochnov, Ed Ozer, Leonard Polsky, Rochelle Spurgel, Neil Tapley. And those for whom the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the death of your loved one, falls during this week and on this Shabbat, if you could rise and remain standing as well. Tamara Abramovich, Carla Almasi, Melinda Aronson, Beryl Atnikov, David Beckman, Jacob Becko, Abe Bell, Suzanne Sultana Bennett, Leona Billenkoff, Rose Blutstein, Rose Brown, Martin Donald Butts, Rhoda Dardick, Dolphy Eisler, Gabor Elias, Gertrude Feingold, Kenneth Garfinkel, Frederick Galvin, Alvin Gibbs, Dina Groner, Joseph Howitt, Gordon James, David Kipnis, Louis Isaac Korn, Ralph Krasny, Rita Krivel, Michael Lando, Baruch Levy, Philip Lieberman, Elsie Mayrov, Ben Morris, Gerard Leon Mutal Fua, Mary Nichols, Gregory Agnestoff, Sam Reisen, Alex Reback, Gordon Robinson, Micheline Rostaker, Herbert Rothschild, Devorah Rotem, Hannah Malka Rosen, Aaron Gedalia Rosen, Gertrude Schaefer, Guy Schwell, Paul Shore, Leonard Shore, Nathan Unico, Annette White, Jacob Wilshensky. If there are names I've missed or mispronounced, if you come to say Kaddish for any other reason, if you could rise and call them out one by one as well. Looking around the congregation, we don't want those in mourning to stand alone, and so we'll stand now by their side, providing the comfort of our presence. Kadisha Tom, the mourners' Kaddish, is on page 598. I invite those who wish to join with the mourners in reciting these words. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma Divrach Herutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon U'v'hayed Chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'vizman Kariv V'yimaru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olameo Maya, Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Raman V'yit Naseh, V'yit Adar V'yit Ale V'yit Alal Shemei Kudisha B'rechu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damin Ron Be'alma V'yimaru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimaru Amen. Osei Shalom Yiramav, Huya Asei Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'yimaru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us, and we say together, Amen. If you remain standing for a moment, we'll do Kiddush and then Motzi, and then our closing song. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom hashishi vayachulu hashamayim va'aretz v'kol tzva'am vayachol Elohim bayom hashvi malachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol malachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi v'kadesh oto kivosh hashvi v'kadesh oto kivosh shabbat mikol malachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishan mitzvotav ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava ratzon itchilanu zikaro lemaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher etziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu b'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim, to life. It's a challah. I think we got it on Nitsky's. I think maybe. Doesn't matter to me. I know. Well, you still have a thing, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
The words are Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. Whoever enters Adar this new month will increase in joy. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, Nichnas Adar, Marvin Besimcha. Misha, Nichnas shemi, 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 shenitnas adar. Shemi, 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 shenitnas adar. Mishenitnas adar marbin besimcha. Mishenitnas adar marbin besimcha.
Torah study tomorrow morning at 8:30. Services at 10 a.m. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.